Good afternoon and welcome to the East Texan Sports Report. I'm your host, Tyler McDonough, joined by my co-host, Drew Ivery. We hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. I know we both did.
That's right. Yeah, nice and full.
Nice and full. Couple sports were going on over Thanksgiving break, and football was in Stephenville as they were taking on Tarleton State. Unfortunately, the defending national champions had their bid at a repeat national championship come to an end as they were, once again, as it said, they were in Stephenville. They fell to the Texans 34-28. The Lions do finish the season 10-3. Couple things that did go on in the game. History was made.
Oh, yeah.
The Lions, I'll get to that in a minute. We had the Lions did make a valiant effort to come back in that game as they got down 1 point, 34-15, and it looked like all was lost. But the Lions did come back in a great effort. Fourth quarter, they scored a couple touchdowns to make it interesting. Whether it be Kane Wilson, Ryan Stokes, Marquise Wimberly, all those guys on the offensive end made big plays, scored a couple touchdowns. The Lions did get within 6 with the ball. They drove down the field late in the fourth quarter and had a chance to win the game, but unfortunately that didn't go our way. We had a late fumble that cost the Lions, but nonetheless, I can just talk about this Lions group. I mean, I can just go on and on about them. They didn't give up once all season. Look, they faced adversity all year. We're talking about earlier. It's kind of nice, when the Lions can go 10-3, and that feels like an off year. A second round exit in the playoffs.
Just spoiled with last year.
Yeah, but the Lions. This is their third straight year of making it to the semifinal round in the region. So big things for the Lions, even in a 10-3 season.
A lot to look forward to.
Yeah, at the 4:01 mark in the game, history was made as Christoph Martinez knocked in a 38-yard field goal Yes, the GOAT indeed, as he knocked in that field goal to become the all-time NCAA Division II kick leader, and that's impressive,
Right.
And unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Christoph as he's graduating. But
hello, NFL.
Yeah,
come on, sign the boy.
Come on, yeah,
you need him.
I did see something the other day. I believe he is the 4th all-time leading scorer in Texas.
Yes.
And that's including that's Division I and everything. So, I mean,
that's big time.
Big time. So, congratulations to Christoph. He did knock in a couple of bombs also as well. He knocked in both career longs, 53-yarder and a 55-yarder, as he broke both of his career longs. And so now the school record is now to Christoph with 55-yarder. So he knocked it in late in the second quarter. A few more individual things to go around is we did see seniors Garrett Blueball and Brooks Sadoff. They had one heck of a game as they went out with 37 total tackles combined. They're gonna be missed just as much as Christoph there, in that box right there for the defense. That linebacking crew. It's going to be unfortunate that we have to see them go, but those two young men, led that line defense for years, and I can't say enough about the two of them and the way they held themselves with class and dignity. But shout out to those two guys. They went out, with a bang. This senior class is the winningest in a 4-year span. It's the winningest class. 43 wins over that 4-year stretch. Many accomplishments. You had a national championship to their resume. They got multiple rings, as you alluded to earlier. They've got many. You said what you were saying that this is their first year without. Unfortunately, this is
their first year without any ring on their finger.
But still a 10-3 season. And this is their third straight year of making it to the semifinal round. So I expect Scott Power, to get that to replenish that defense.
They'll be fine. They do great recruiting. No doubt the football team will be back and better next year. No doubts.
And any kind of Colby Carthel led team, I have confidence in. So we'll see football back next year. Expect to do even better. We've got Tarleton now to worry about. I expect Midwestern to be just as good too as they are this year. But the Lions, I expect them to be back in the mix of things next year.
That's right. As for the basketball side of things, we got men's and women's basketball coming up. I'm going to start off with men's, though. They have a 5-2 record. They lost their last game of a 2-game set in a tournament going on this past weekend, the Hilton Garden Inn Denver Cherry Creek Classic, mouthful, in Denver, Colorado. They lost 76-69 to Metro State. But in the first game, they won against number 25 ranked Regis, 83-69, a convincing win. Good win for the Lions. Just a little slip up in the second game. Trey Conrad was named Lone Star Conference Defensive Player of the Week. That is the second award for the Lions this year through 3 weeks. Their next game is going to be on Thursday at 11 a.m. versus Angelo State in the Commerce Fieldhouse for Education Day. So make sure you come out and check out the Lions. As for the women's basketball team, they have a 3-3 record this season. They defeated Southeastern Oklahoma in their previous matchup on Sunday, 76-67.
Nice comeback win for the ladies.
Yeah, in Durant, Oklahoma. Shania Wright led with 13 points, and Kate Zebreva had a near double-double with 9 points and 10 rebounds. Their next opponent is also Angelo State. They're on the back end of a doubleheader. Right after the men play at 11, follow 1 p.m. women's game right after that. Could be right at 1, depends on how long the men's game goes. So just be there, be prepared to cheer on all your Lions.
And, guys, I'll close things up with a few individual awards that have gone around campus for our student-athletes. Middle blocker Shelly Chaperone was named Honorable Mention All-American by AVCA.
Shout out.
So she led that volleyball team,
She did.
right there in the middle. She won numerous amount of awards this year.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about her all season. So shout out to Shelly. I expect her. She'll be back next year. She's just a junior, but, absolute, just great. She's just a fantastic middle blocker right there in the middle. And that line's, they lost a few players. The Whackers are gone. A few more of the, seniors we're having to say goodbye to. But Shelly's going to be back, and we expect her to be just as good next year.
That's right.
And a couple of soccer awards are being given out, too. Sabrina Munguia and Michelle Colick were named to the United Soccer Coaches All-South Central Region team. Michelle was the second-team All-Region, and Sabrina was third-team All-Region.
Okay, yeah.
We will not see either one of them next year. Both the Lions, both are graduating, but good for them to go out on top is getting some all-region awards. So shout out, ladies, for that.
You can check out all things at tmuceasttexan.com and follow us on social media.